at all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the University Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Paula Desbang. My pronouns are she and her, except for when I'm feeling very self-absorbed, and then it's I, me, and my. I'm your service leader today. Join us as we settle into our shared sacred space and turn off our telephone beeping. Today is a little different from our normal worship services. Rev Tracie and Judith Stein Farrell, wherever she went, she'll be back in a minute, are passing out paper and pencils as needed during worship. We will explore curiosity and the why behind what we do here. The service elements will be decided at random. We're going to pull them out of that big bag right there that says reuse. We're reusing it here. And they're going to pull them out and tell us what each one of them is about, and that's when we're going to do each one. So they're going to come up in a really random order. It'll be okay. I promise. As we do this, there's some space to mark on your paper your own comments and thoughts. Those joining us by Zoom or wherever can do this at home. My guess is you have paper and pencil or something that can pretend to be for these purposes. We hope you will engage with us and learn from this out-of-the-box service. Let us begin. Our young people are getting clipboards because they're not expected to know yet how to improvise. The rest of you may put hymnals underneath of your papers.
All right. Chaos. Chaos is fun, and curiosity is fun. And that's what we're doing today. It's a little bit of chaos and curiosity. So let's see what we're going to do next. Chloe, will you pull one out for me, please? We are doing, well, this will be interesting, the chalice extinguishing. This is what happens, is sometimes it's chaos. So I'll tell you what, who wants me to switch that with the chalice lighting so that we can get our chalice lit? A few people? Okay, we'll do that. So our chalice lighting and extinguishing are used as the opportunity to mark sacred space. That's what we do. We are saying that now is the time that we have gathered together and we light our chalice to remind us of everyone else's chalice that's lit. So you're going to put a number 1 next to chalice lighting, and we'll go from there, so go ahead.
Okay. Our chalice lighter this morning is Livy. Where is Livy today? Come on up. Her pronouns are she and her. She's 8 years old, and she went to the pool at her mom's friend's house. No doubt fun. Was it a good time? I'm so glad. And we're going to talk while you do this. Have you done this before? Good. In the light of truth
And the warmth of love we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share.
All right, let's see what our next thing's going to be. Thank you, Lizzie. All right, pull one out for me.
All right.
Let's see what we're doing next.
Got it.
Opening words. So that's good. So our opening words are often used to set the stage for the service. These are the first words that you hear about the theme, usually, and it's a chance to invite you to start going deeper into service.
I did not hear you on.
Yeah, I know. I realized I was wrong.
Do you want to say it again?
I'll say it again. There we go. So the opening words are the first chance to go deeper. They're the first words that are said in the theme to the service usually. And so, Ms. Paula, please.
Our opening words come from the Hopi creation story. Not the whole story, just a little piece of it. When she awoke to life and received her name, Spider-Woman asked, "Why am I here?" "Look around you," answered Sotuknang. "This is the earth we have created. It has shape and substance, direction and time, a beginning and an end. But there is no life upon it. We see no joyful movement. We hear no joyful sound. What is life without sound and movement? So you have been given the power to help us create this life. You have been given the knowledge, wisdom, and love to bless all the beings you create. That is why you are here."
Closing words. Paula's going to get all her stuff done right here at the beginning.
I
So
got this.
closing words are very similar to opening words, and they're the last thing we typically say about the service. So if we're building the arc of the service, that's what we do. Paula, take it away.
Okay. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Langston Hughes.
All right, so we're going to be doing the offering now. And the offering is a ritual. It is how we give. It is the symbol of our sustaining this congregation.
Speaking of offering,
Yes.
we're wondering where our baskets went.
Has
Has anyone seen our beautiful
The last I saw them, they were in the library.
library? Ooh.
It's all an adventure. So it's important, too, to know that if you give online, we have in the vestibule these wonderful cards that were designed by Trista that you can use with a QR code to give online, and then you can drop that card in the basket so you get to participate in that ritual of putting funds into the basket. So our children are going to be collecting the offering, and then they'll be sitting back down because they're going to be staying in the service with us, and our choir is going to sing.
And I wanted to say what I was going to say here. When we talk about the passing the plate, in our case, a basket, we collect that stuff, and the loose offering, 40% of it we pass on to some other organization doing good work. And in this case, it's the Orlando Center for Justice.
So we, the choir, are also doing something a little different today. We will be singing in Spanish, and we will be singing Busca el Amor by Salvador Cardinal, who's a Nicaraguan singer-songwriter. And I'm not going to give you the whole translation, but the gist is, look for the love inside yourself, the selfless love that seeks out the good of others. And he also wrote an accompaniment, but our Sonny is sick today, so we are going to venture this a cappella. So.
You can do it.
You can do it, okay.
Oh, you want to sing that?
Prisa tu corazón para hallar el amor en un rincón, pero busca el amor, ni paz ni pasión, el amor. No vayas a otra vez, busca el amor.
We're going to do a hymn. We're going to do Spirit of Life. This was going to be our closing hymn, but it will be our opening-ish hymn. So as we know, music is highly important, so choir, glad you got warmed up with your song, and we're ready to go, right? You're going to do it? All right.
And we'll be doing this a cappella.
Yay.
Join me. Like this. Stand as it makes sense to you to do so.
Joys and concerns. Now we do this, much like every Unitarian Universalist congregation around the country does this, because we know that joys shared are multiplied, and concerns shared are lightened.
And you can come up and use this microphone. If this microphone, if you're not up to coming up here for any reason, I'll bring it to you. And when you get done saying your words, you can pick up a stone to drop in the water.
On behalf, excuse me, on behalf of Beth Kiefer, she is in need, closer? Oh. She's in need of help in her yard, and she asked me to ask if there's anybody that could help her with, it's not the mowing, it's the weeding and the edging and that kind of stuff, or if somebody knows somebody that they can recommend that could help her with that process. So if you have any information on this, let me know, or if you know Beth, you go directly to Beth and tell her that you can have some help. Thank you.
I'm Anastasia and I have a joy/concern. We went to the beach yesterday and it was really fun, but there was a lot of dead seaweed and a variety of sea animals that are commonly found in shallow areas, like clams and crabs and stuff like that.
Hello, I'm Livy Wheeler, and this is. As I was saying, I'm Livy Wheeler, and I have a concern of Miss Taylor leaving because she was a really great teacher, and I have no idea what she's gonna do when she's gone. But yeah, I'm pretty sad that she's leaving. So, memories and stuff. Thank you. Hi, I'm Livy Will. I'm 8. Hi, I'm Sunny Wheeler, and yesterday I went to the beach and it was really fun. No.
Make sure you drop a stone. Continuing on the beach theme, I'm Joey Cole, and we populated an ocean again out in the back today. The kids did an incredible job, and my joy is that it's over because I get very nervous when I have to do one of these projects, but it's really fun. And I would also like to say that I have a beautiful, almost brand new wheelchair that is not in use now. We have 2. The VA will not take them back. They have the feet things, they have everything. It's a really good, if anybody is in need of it, I'm storing it. Well, okay, great. Then I would love to have somebody store it at their house. All right, that's great. I'll see you afterwards.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sullivan, and I'm just back from a 2-week vacation with my family. We spent a week with very dear friends up in Ithaca, New York, and then a week camping with also some very dear friends, and no electricity and no cell signal, and I am very relaxed.
John Mowbray, and Amy and I's joy is that we just got back from Seattle, spent some time with our son Jake out there, had a wonderful meal at the restaurant where he works. We hiked the Olympic National Forest, so we went up to the mountains and there down to the beach. We hiked Mount Rainier. And I think there's a Mount Rainier curse on Mowbray's. Last year after Jake and my son David hiked the mountain, they hit a coyote in Montana and messed up the car. And then Tuesday on our way home, we're about a mile from Jake's home, got rear-ended, and everybody was fine, but the lady probably hit us going about 40 miles an hour. But, yeah. Anyway, we're back. Thanks.
Hi guys, I'm the new guy. I spent the last 3 days being very sad and depressed because I found out from church, and I've been hearing it over and over, that animals don't go to heaven, so I won't be reunited with my dogs, which was really sad. But that sad for 3 days. But the joy is that they also said this place was the devil. So clearly they are both wrong. So this is great.
Hi, I'm Ender Walker, and my joy is that my sister dyed her hair rainbow.
Hi, Chloe Hatfield, and this Wednesday was the first day of school, and it's a joy and concern for me because it was chaotic. On Monday, they did not have our room ready. We were getting our room painted, which it should have been done Thursday, Friday. So Monday comes along, we don't have our room painted. Luckily, we started on Wednesday. So I had one day after they painted our class to put the entire room together. We did it in the most part. There were still little details that weren't put up, but you know what? It's fine. It's presentable. Let's get it ready for the parents and kids. And meeting all the students, it's been really nice. And there's been a little bit of challenges, but it's been really nice. And I'm looking forward, even with the little amount of time left I have with them, to interact with them, help them get ready to get used to a classroom environment, and hope they have a wonderful year.
We're going to Animal Kingdom in 2 weeks.
Let's take a moment of meditation for those joys and concerns that were shared, and those that people have kept for their own contemplation. So be it.
All right. I wonder how many things we have left. How many things left? We have quite a bit left, it feels like. Just one. Time for all ages. Woo! As we know, this is such an important thing. We have done this even when our kids were not in the sanctuary, because it is a time for all ages, not just for our youth. And it's also a chance that, as you guys may have noticed, Judith and I tend to riff off each other pretty well. We work together as a shared ministry to use the time for all ages to help bolster the sermon and to make sure that the message is in a way that everybody can hear it.
I love how you say that. My favorite part is working with all of us, and this is an interactive service, which someone reminded me today that not everybody wants to interact. The good part is that the way we do interaction in this congregation is generally it's voluntary. Generally, sometimes we say stand up, sometimes, but mostly it's voluntary. I need a handful of volunteers to, okay, and they're all over there. Okay, all right. So I need, raise your hand again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, that's a good, keep your hands up. Hold these. Hold these and give to them. Would you read it? Hold those. Hold those. Hold those. Hold those. Who else? Sarah, hold those. Go get some more. All right, well, I don't once upon a time, there were a couple of folks who had a big family. And they noticed that these folks, the family, did really, really well. They loved raising the kids and doing things together, and they realized they did really, really well. But as times changed, sometimes the family members individually just got grumpy, didn't participate as well, didn't pay attention to one another, and things just kind of started falling apart in the home, right? Things didn't get done. The yard started needing weeding, right? The shingles were falling off the house, and nobody wanted to participate. The noise level in the house, somebody had the radio on over there, someone had the TV on over there. Yeah? Things just weren't coming together. You've had this happen in your house? Am I hitting the corner? I wasn't. I was pulling. Yeah. Anyway, it's a story, Reverend Tracie. So one of the parents said, we need to start working together better, and everybody was yelling at each other. And so the folks said, here are a couple sticks, and they gave a couple sticks to all the members of the family. Who has those sticks I just handed out? So y'all, first of all, take one of those sticks, not the other one of those sticks, and see if you can break it in half. I'm hearing a lot of snapping. It worked, right? Individually, they all snapped. But I'd like y'all to come up, all of you that have them, come up and bring me those sticks. The ones that are still together. Yeah, I want the hold on to, you can stay up here though, if you're comfortable, if you want to go back to your seat. That's good, so that's 3, that's a big family, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need the full piece, 9. Annie, may I have yours? 10. So this is the family and the, do we have another one coming up? Oh, you got the broken piece, okay. And this is the family and the cousins and all the pieces that make the family a family, right? The folks, the cousins, the grandparents. Sorry? The family dog, kitty cat, the rabbit, right? And this parent said, okay, so if we are all together and we are working together and we are putting all our pieces in place, we are fixing the shingles, we are weeding the garden, we are doing the repairs and paying attention to what everybody needs and taking care of each other in their right places. We're like all those individual sticks bound together. Anna, can you see how easy it is to break that? I'm going to let Annie, okay, so hand it to Annie. Let Annie, I'm going to let you try. I guarantee. I want the little kids first to see. No, break it like you did the big stick, the single stick. It's harder like that. All right, see if Livy can together. Okay, that's all right. It's harder like that, right? They're real tough. Okay, now we're going to hand it off to Billy. Now, wait, Billy. Let's keep in mind. No, let's just keep in mind. Okay, can I have it? Even Billy. And I really thought you might do it. That's okay. You can have it afterwards, okay? No, everybody. So together, even if you did break it, it would be harder in right? Right? Together, put together, putting all the pieces bound together, it is a stronger entity. It is a more whole and complete sound being. So that can be a family, right? That can be, who are English teachers or English majors in this congregation? Okay, English teachers, English teachers. So it can be a well-written story, right? Opening paragraphs, closing paragraphs, body. It can be a math equation. It can be an order of service. Right? What else? Anything else? Yeah. It can be a science experiment. Yeah. Which is probably a science experiment. Just so you know, Anastasia said a teleporting pig. So. All right, thank you for your time and participation. There you go.
All right, while they're getting to their seats, we're going to get another thing pulled here. Let's see. I think you already pulled one. You can pull one. Committee moments. So now it's finally the time for committee moments. And we do this to share the what is going on in the congregation. But here's the important thing. That's not just for us. It is for our visitors to know what's happening here, but also what our values are. Because our activities are our values. And that's how we act them out in our community here and in the wider world. So let's go with it.
So you've got your DRE in front of you again, representing religious education this morning. As Livy told y'all, one of our regular and tried and true employees, Taylor Barton, is leaving us as of today. This is her last day. And I just want y'all to say goodbye to her when she leaves, but I've also supplied, and I'm sorry to our hospitality folks who I did not warn. I really apologize. But I have supplied cake and Valkyrie donuts for the vegans in the room, so therefore after the service. So the kids are not leaving the service today, but after they have cake, we have till noon that they can play on the playground after the service if you're so inclined. Thank you.
Good morning, Melanie Irie on behalf of the board. Just a reminder that 2 weeks from today, on August 28th, is our quarterly meeting following the service. Thank you.
Hi, Miak. I'm speaking for the pastoral care. I just want to make sure everybody knows that on next Sunday, we're going to be having a speaker from let me get this right, the Alzheimer and Dementia Resource Center speaking next week. I believe that's correct. And after service, we're going to have a lunch and learn by her. And we request that you sign up so we know how much food to have, so you can speak to us in the back. And she is program specialist and certified positive approach to care trainer at the ADRC. And we'll discuss types of dementia, signs, and what to look out for, risk factors, ADRC services, and the Florida Brain Bank, prevention, and more. And if you missed it, it's Alzheimer and Dementia Resource Center. She's going to be from there. It will be an interesting talk, and it's probably good that we know about this stuff because
very silly. Good job. Good job. Hi, I'm Chloe McElroy, representing the UUF Millennial Group, Millennial Plus Group, because we're inclusive of everybody who wants to come to the Millennial Group. So I decided to put it on the same day as the Women's Group, so I made a mistake last week. So this is the third change, but it hopefully will be on Thursday the 25th, 6:30, here at the church. It'll be potluck, 21 and up. We welcome Gen Xers as well, the forgotten generation, we see you. So Millennial Plus Group, 6:30, Thursday the 25th at the church. Please come and find me over in that direction or on the playground after service if you have any questions. Chloe Hatfield.
Same time?
6:30, same time, yes. 6:30, the 25th, here at the church.
John Mowbray on behalf of Facilities and Grounds, and this coming Saturday is the third Saturday of the month, which is these. You're invited to come out and help around either inside or outside if you have certain talents, like paint, like pull weeds, anything along those lines we can use to help. Between 9 and 12 o'clock. If you can only spare a half hour, we'll take it. If you can spare 3.5. But we do leave by 12:30 because Church of God, starts running before the Saturday night. But anyway, Saturday, this coming Saturday, 9/12, if you can help us out, please come out. Thank you.
Hi, Amy Mowbray. I'm going to add on to that. He always mentions the outside stuff. There's plenty to do inside, too. So, okay, Amy Mowbray with Beacon Youth Group. After a short hiatus for a couple months while everybody was traveling, we are meeting today after service at 12:30 to 2 in our room. Bring your mask, and we'll have a conversation about how we feel about that. We haven't talked about being in that space again and whether we want a mask or not. But I'm really excited to see whoever can be there. I think we are going to be permanently changing to this time, so it's a little more convenient for families. So again, 12:30 to 2, we'll meet in the room. Anybody who's available to meet. Did I think of everything? And we're open to ages 12 to 18. So, thanks.
Hi, I'm Crystal. Haven't talked about this in a couple of weeks, but I just wanted to throw it back out there. Parent Support Group is meeting here 9:30 on this first and third Sunday of every month. We are open to anybody who identifies as a caretaker, whether that be to someone older than yourself, younger than yourself, or even pets. So please come and join us if you would like, 9:30 to whenever service starts.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Feldheim right now, speaking for the Social Action Committee. They encourage all registered voters to vote in the upcoming election, August 23rd. Please check out our information on the candidates and issues on the ballot. That's all I have, sorry.
All righty. Thank you very much. Let's see. Get a little hand in there. Grab one together. No, grab one. Okay. Open it up to see what it is. Is hymn, Morning Has Broken. This was supposed to be our first hymn, and now it's our second hymn, and that's okay, but it's Morning Has Broken. And it is, if you want to sing along, please do. And rise as you're willing and able. Let's get some exercise in.
Okay, go ahead.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain, sunlight from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sung in completeness of God's sweet past. What is the sunlight? What is the morning? Word of the one light, read in soft play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Very good. So I feel like we're getting near the end. I mean, it's 11:10, but I know we've missed some stuff. I don't know. I don't have my list. but it's, we do it usually at the beginning is a chance to, welcome those who are joining us in person and online. And we do it each week because welcoming everyone is important. This is our home, and we want to welcome people into it.
Yeah, so a big welcome to all of you. Lovely to see a crowd here. Warms my heart. This is not our normal service, in case you haven't figured that out yet. We've mixed everything up. And so that's just a fair warning, so that you can know that there's always something else going on here. It's never the same twice. This is not true in some denominations. This is not true in some congregations, but it's true here. And so we're doing something different. Come several times and see if you want to put your roots down here, and then you'll have a place from which to spread your own wings. Like that. So take a moment right now to turn around and say hello to whoever's sitting near you. This is my favorite part. But I can stop it at any time. Are you ready? Okay, now, I know, I hate to stop that because it's my favorite part of this service. But I promise you this, when the service is all over, you can return to those very conversations and finish them while you're having coffee and cake and donuts and whatnot. So I'm going to give this back to Reverend Tracie.
All right. Bob, will you reach in here and pull something out for me? It's our affirmation and covenant. And this is important because we remind ourselves and each other of our covenant together, and that's why we say it every week. Will you join us?
Please, what is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another.
Awesome. Paula, will you reach in there and grab?
Okay.
Where are we at?
This says message, sermon.
Oh, sweet. That means it's my turn. Again. Remember to do this. So I hope you all have enjoyed what we've done so far, and we still have a few more things apparently to do. But don't worry, this won't be a long sermon because the whole service has been a bit of my sermon about what we do and why. Why do we gather on Sundays? What's the purpose? Wayne Arneson and Kathleen Rowlands in their book, Worship That Works, Theory and Practice for Unitarian Universalists say, intentional church-going involves seeing worship as the primary spiritual practice that informs everything else a person does in the church. They go on to say that attendance at worship is the primary and often the only explicit spiritual practice that many Unitarian Universalists undertake. So one of the main reasons we gather on Sundays is for spiritual practice. Well, what's a spiritual practice? It's what we do to refill our well, to give us strength to encounter yet another day. Some spiritual practices are meditation, yoga, prayer, dance, music, whatever works to fill your well. And for many UUs, attendance on Sunday morning is their only spiritual practice. Now, we gather for community. That's one of the main reasons people state to why they belong to a UU congregation. When I served in Lake County, I would often sit in on the new member orientation, and most people said they chose to join the congregation because they felt like they'd come home. How many other people have felt that? I know I did when I first found UU. They talked about how welcoming everyone was, how they made connections and found community. And I hear the same things here in talking to our visitors and new members. So community is definitely one of the reasons we gather together as a congregation. And for many of our people, Sundays are the only time people come to the congregation, whether in person or virtually. So the community aspect is very important. I'm sure that you can think of people that you only see here on Sunday mornings. Maybe you're that person. They don't go to classes, they're not members of committees, they don't attend events, they only come on Sunday. We also gather to deepen our faith, our connections with one another, and to deepen the commitment to those things that we hold as important. Sunday mornings are a time to set aside the day-to-day struggle and deepen our connections and our commitment. And again, this ties back into the spiritual practice aspect of Sunday mornings. While we can deepen connections in other aspects of the congregation, small groups, classes, etc., Sunday morning is a different time, and it's important that we treat it as such. We gather to consider things of worth. This is the meaning of the word worship. It's not about a deity or a creed. Community is of worth. Commitment is of worth. Our world is of worth. Our commitment to social justice is of worth. Our connection to that which is bigger than us is of worth. For some, that could mean the spirit of life. For some, that could mean a deity or an ideal. And for some, it could just be that great mystery which cannot be explained or named. And when I use the word worship to discuss what we do on Sundays, this is what I mean. It's a time to pause, to think, to reflect. We also gather to point to Unitarian Universalism. What do I mean by that? Everything we do here, especially on Sundays, but it does reflect to all programs, should point to Unitarian Universalism. It should lift up who we are. How else will people know who we are? My teaching pastor, Reverend Janet Ani, used to say that if what we offer on Sunday morning could be easily offered at a lifelong learning lecture without any changes, then it isn't Unitarian Universalism and it doesn't belong on Sunday mornings. Other classes, sure, okay, although I think even those we should be talking about how these things relate to being a UU. And I know that we often have great speakers, and it's our service leaders who do a wonderful job of interweaving what they share into what it means to be a UU. But Sunday morning is where we state who we are. If a visitor who has never heard of us before doesn't walk away with at least some understanding of who we are and what we stand for, then we didn't do our job. And this can be overt or subtle, but what we do on Sundays should reflect and state who we are. And we also gather to have a spiritual experience. Now, I'm not framing this as just a theist thing either. Everyone, regardless of where they fall on the spectrum between theist and non-theist, can have a spiritual experience. It's a moment of transcendence, a moment when we can release the day-to-day worries of the world and just be. Now, I will admit that is hard to do. I have witnessed it in larger worship services like at General Assembly or the big ministerial gatherings I've attended, and it's difficult to do on a regular Sunday morning service, but it can be done. I've seen it. Maybe you have too. It's those moments when people are vulnerable and open, and it's hard to describe, but it can happen. As a minister, I believe that's part of my job in crafting a service, to have that as my goal. It doesn't always happen, but it is my goal. Arneson and Rollins quote Reverend Dr. William Schultz in his report to the 1986 General Assembly, where he said, "Reason is still a cherished standard in our religious repertoire, but reason is coming to be supplemented by our immediate apprehension of the holy and by our conviction that the holy is embodied in the abundance of a scarred creation." Arneson and Rollins then go on to say, "We believe that the apprehension of the holy is an experience human beings have in common. Worship is a human activity located at the crossroads where the apprehension of the holy and the living of daily life meet." We gather to learn something, especially as UEUs. Woo, we are good at having lectures disguised as a Sunday service, but like I said, there's nothing wrong about learning new things, and I always hope I can teach people something in my sermons. But it should always be married with that spiritual experience I talked about, and it should always point to Unitarian Universalism. We, as UUs, spend way too much time in our heads. Many of our services, and I'm talking around the country here, reflect our Puritan heritage and become so intellectual that the holy is pushed out. If you remember last month, I showed you the orders of service from our past, from all the way back into the 1900s, and how they were pretty much the same order of service. Now, you don't have to raise your hands, but how many of you have been to a Sunday morning service, whether here or somewhere else, that was a lecture book report disguised as a Sunday morning message? As a lecture disguised as a Sunday morning message. I know I have. Now here's the flip side. How many of you, and again you don't have to raise your hand, have experienced a deeply moving service that has also taught you something? Ooh, oh, that makes me so happy. It can be done, and it should be done, especially on Sundays. Let us save the lecture for the discussion groups, adult education programming, or some other special event. I am a strong proponent of what is called missional church. It means we gather here on Sundays as a type of base camp. We come here to be fed, both physically and spiritually. We come to bind our wounds. We come here to check in on one another and share news. We come to bring refugees who need us. We come here to gather strength and tools we need for the journey. And then we go back out into the world. It's a radical idea, and it will change you if you take this stance, but I contend it will change you for the better. If you view Sunday morning services in that way, it changes everything about how you do it. You create a safe and nurturing environment where people can be vulnerable and get all the things I listed above. And they're encouraged to then take that out into the world. Now, you may know that part of my bio is that I consider myself a UU evangelist. And what do I mean by that? It does not mean I go knocking on doors to tell people about us, because I'm an introvert. But it means that I live my life in a way that exudes Unitarian Universalism. It means I do tell people that there is a faith tradition where the theology doesn't hurt them. It means I make sure that on Sunday mornings I'm encouraging the congregation as well as gathering what I need to go back out into the world. So why do we do what we do? We do it to share Unitarian Universalism. And we do it to have a safe and vulnerable space where we can be messy and clean it up as we learn to build beloved community. We do it to feed our souls and our brains. And we do it because we need one another. Amen, blessed be, and may it be so. Oh, where did my bag go? Pull out that next one. Aha! Now we have the chalice extinguishing. I snuck it back in there for you.
So say the words with me. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And our last thing is our children's recessional. And we left this as last because in this state we are all kids. And we are all going to sing ourselves out, kids to the playground, adults to coffee hour and cake. Kids can stay on the playground till noon. And so please be kind to our staff and be sure to get your kids booked by noon. Let us sing. We love you and bless you and send you on your way.
We love you and bless you today and every day.
So thank you all. Be blessed and have some coffee. And remember why we do these things.